Welcome to Midvale Speedway for another exciting night of racing action here on TV2. I'm Chris Cavati along with Mike Percone. On the camera, the directors, Mike Savillo, and on the camera, Brian Young. And on the track right now, we have our late model Consi lineup for the night. The top 4 finishers in this race will go into our 50-lap Play Week feature. So Mike, you want to tell us who these drivers are? '41 is Kerry Smith from Barberton. 97, Wild Bill Seal from Scio. 71, Jerry Pinkna from Canton. 67, Tom Baker from New Philly. 11, Bill Bittaker from New Philly. 44, Kenny Vickers from New Philadelphia. 78, Keith Cope from Denison. Number 4 is Bernie Sellers from New Philly. Wild Bill Seal taking the lead in the first turn. Bill going a little high there. Kerry Smith trying to move inside. Bill spins in front of the pack. Little contact, but Keith Cope comes out in front. Spin out action in the corner, and the yellow flag comes out. 71, Jerry Pinkna. 18, Randy Scheffler. And 41, I believe, Kerry Smith involved in an accident there in turn number 1. So we'll have to have a restart, get the cars lined up.
Looks like Bill's car's all right. They're starting to line the race back up again.
Okay, on this restart, Bill Bittaker, car number 11, will start on the pole. Keith Cope, number 78, on the outside. Mike, you want to pick up the cars from there?
Number 44, Ken Vickers. Number 27. I don't have an ID on number 27. Car number 4 is Bernie Sellers. On the outside of Sellers, we have car 67, Tom Baker. Bringing up the rear, number 71.
Our flagman, Eddie Warmack, signaling for one more lap. He didn't like the lineup, so they'll come back around. He has enough power. It looks like Boyd's going to take over the lead. Boyd Gum in his first time out in the 27 car. And our lead in our Consi. Keith Cope holding in second. Kenny Vickers third. Bernie Sellers trying to move into the 4th spot. Boyd Gum and Keith Cope trying to straighten out their lead there.
I think we might add here, just because these cars are in the Consi, they're still moving around this track. They don't look like they're moving too fast, but they're moving around here pretty well.
Well, you're right, Mike. Some of these cars have hit about 80 miles an hour down the straightaway. I know last time we did a race on TV, it looked like the cars were going a lot slower than that, but if you get down close to the track, you can really catch that speed.
I think that's one advantage we have from this advantage point here. You can really see how fast these cars are going by you.
Right. We might want to make note to the people. We are televising from the pit tower tonight. We're closer to the track, and we'll pick up a lot more car noise and speed from this side of the racetrack. Boyd Gum, number 27, still leads our Consi. Keith Cope still second, with Bernie Sellers now moved into 3rd place and Kenny Vickers 4th. The top 4 finishers go into our feature event.
We might add here, Chris, number 27, this is his first night out here at Midvale Speedway. He's doing a fine job. I'd say at least the 10 car has a 10-car lead over the second place car. He's doing a fine job.
Yeah, he's been working on that car since about March, trying to get it down here, and doing a real good job first time here. White flag means one more lap to go in our Conti. Boyd Gum from Canton looks like he's going to come home an easy winner. Keith Cope looks like a shoe-in for second place. Battle right now is for third and fourth. Coming in for the checkered flag, Boyd Gum, Canton, Ohio, our Conti winner. Keith Cope from Tappan Lake is second. Bernie Sellers from New Philly third. And Kenny Vickers from New Philly fourth. That's our Conti event for this evening. This is here. I'll have Mike run down here who's won our preliminary event so far.
In tonight's events, the late model dash was run by Rich Rohr of Canton, Ohio. Very fine runner here at Midvale Speedway. Doing a real fine job last year. The first heat of the late models, Kerry Smith. Second heat of the late models, Jim Coffey of Delroy. And then our third heat of the late models, Rich Rohr come back to win that one.
Okay, and our consolation that you just saw was Boyd Gum from Canton. And let's see, we're getting ready here for our 50-lap feature. I might want to mention some of the track personnel here at Midvale Speedway who help put on this program every Saturday night. In the infield crew, and a guy does a real good job for us here at Midvale. Helps clean up all the wrecks and keeps the track in good running condition. Roy King. His helpers are Tim King, Keith Horsberger, Rod Neff, Carl Herrig, and Dennis Gordon. Our welder here at Midvale Speedway who keeps all these cars in good shape when they have an accident is Jim Creechbaum. In the pits, when we're not on TV, our assistant pit steward is Mike Bracone. He's also in charge of all the lineups in the pits, getting them on the board, making sure all the guys are out here on the track in time. Joe DeCaminata, who lines up the cars in the pit area and sends them out on the track. Dean Miles, another assistant steward, who's also on the technical staff. He's in charge of inspecting the cars to make sure that they're trying to conform to the rules. We have Wishbone Chris Shamel, who is our head cook. After the races, we have a little cookout here, and he's in charge of all the food and any little running around we need done. In our pit sign-in, we have Matt Plotz and Bob Green. Also in the pits, Larry Kilpatrick is on the technical staff to keep all the spectator stocks in line. Pulling out on the track right now, we have our pace car tonight sponsored by Brightwood Motors. John Castor, their salesman, taking the car around for a spin here. They're sponsoring tonight's trophies for the Clay Week race. And they'll be our pace car here for the 50-lap feature. Might want to mention our judges, too, in our judges stand. Charlie Jones, the famous Charlie Jones from TV2, who everyone knows. Al Dunn, who's been with us for around 25 years. Our announcer is Don Wagner, probably the most knowledgeable racing announcer in the United States. Don knows all the rules and all the racing procedure. Anytime we have a problem in the judges' stand, they turn to Don, he gives them the answer. He's also been known in the area of sports, in almost all sports. He's the best all-around announcer, I think, in this area in the United States. Our flagman's Eddie Warmack. Eddie's been with us a long time, does a real good job. Keeps these guys running clean out there on the racetrack. Our clown, who hands candy out to the kids and just puts on a real good show there, Becky Drescher. She's here every Saturday night. And that's about it for our track crew. Might want to mention some upcoming events here at Midvale Speedway while we got a few minutes. Next Saturday night, we'll have a regular racing program. It'll also be Kiddies Night. That means all the kids can come and get a ride at intermission in a stock car. That's our top qualifier, and he's won one of the features before. And Rich Rohr, who has won 2 races tonight so far, should be a pretty good battle.
Yeah, there's 3 other cars here I think we consider real well. Number 65, Smoke Erickson. Number 58, car owned by Kenny Stevens, who is not driving the car tonight. It's driven by Doc Dixon, who's a real fine performer here in Midvale Speedway. And another one we can look for is number 45, Dick Yogi out of Kansas. Does a real fine job.
There'll be, what, 20 cars start to feature?
Yeah, we took the fastest 16 qualifiers in the late models, and then we added the first 4 finishers from the late model Consi event to make the 20-car field here for our Clay Week 50 lap championship.
Okay, while the cars are stopping by the flag stand to line up, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back after this. For tonight's Clay Week 50 lap championship, I'm Chris Tolotti, along with me, Mike Percone, our director, Mike Savillo, and on the camera, Brian Young. And we're going to go 50 laps here in our Clay Week 50 lap championship.
Chris, you might want to explain to them how they start the first 10 out, they invert the order. And
in tonight's feature event, we took the top 16 qualifiers, put the top qualifier in 16th positions, which means the number 16 qualifier is on the pole, 15 is second, so forth on back. Then the 4 cars from the Consi fill in at the rear of the pack. On the pole for tonight's Clay Week 50, number 25, Tom Smith from New Philly. On the outside, 84, Rick Schweitzer, Barnhill. Number 1, Rich Pica, Uricksville. Number 3, Bobby Allensworth from Denison. I want everyone to know I got that right. I called him Bobby Allison the last time we raced, which is a little joke between me and Bobby. He always likes that. Car number 6, Greg Gallagher from Bowerston. 68, Ron Hoopengarner from Denison. 16, Jeff Bittaker, New Philly. 75, Dave Arrett, Canton. Number 10, Kenny Sellers from Midvale. 03, Lonnie Vaughn from Canton. 45, Dick Yohe from Canton. 58, in the Kenny Stevens car, Doc Dixon from Sheardsville. 65, Smokes Erickson from Delroy. Number 7, Rich Rohr from Canton. 55, Joe 9 of Leesville, our top qualifier and winner of our Memorial 50. 27, Boyd Gum. 78, Keith Cope. 4, Bernie Sellers. 44, Kenny Vickers. And bringing up the rear, number 77, Jim Coffey. And Mike, last time we had a 50-lapper, it was a real battle between Joe 9 and Rich Rohr. I don't know, starting back that far, we got Bobby Allensworth up there. He won 3 features last year. I think maybe if he can get out in front, he might give him a battle. What do you think?
Oh yeah, Chris, I think tonight we have one of the finest field of cars we've had here at Midvale Speedway this year. I think 50 laps is up for grabs.
Yeah,
when you go 50 laps around this track, it's hard to tell who's going to come out on top.
Right, you might want to mention that overall tonight, this is our finest field of late models. We had 30 late models on hand tonight. So we're a real fine field. We had a total of 86 cars in our pit area. We've had some real fine racing here. For family entertainment, you can't beat Midvale Speedway every Saturday night. And we're ready to go. Our flagman, Eddie Warmack, ready to give the green flag on our Clay Week 50. Rich Pica trying to take the lead from the outside. Tom Smith hanging in on the inside. Rich went a little high. Rich still trying to gain the lead. Back of the pack, our fastest qualifier, Joe 9, has moved up a couple spots. Tom Smith hanging in second. Bob Allensworth in third. Laps complete. Rich Pica still our leader. 25, Tom Smith, Bob Allensworth, Greg Gallagher battling for second spot. Ron Hoopengarner trying to move up now. Pica stretching his lead a little bit. They bunch up in here behind Smith. Bob Allensworth making a move on the inside. Couldn't quite get Tom Smith there. Smitty's doing a good job of holding them back. Richie a lead, Mike. What do you think? He's I don't know out here if they keep it under the green.
I don't know, Chris. I see Richie coming out number 2 corner here. It looks like he's got a little smoke coming from the back end of the car. He's got about 45 laps to go. He's starting to smoke a little worse now. We'll just have to see what goes on here.
Bob Allensworth has slipped into second place. He could give Pica a real run here. He can make up some ground. Greg Gallagher in fourth. Joe 9 and Rich Rohr are 2 favorites being held up by the pack. Lap number 5, Pika coming in with a good lead.
I think we might add here, Chris, Rich Pika is a real surprise this year in our late model division. He's doing real well this year.
Yeah, it's only the second night out for Rich in his car. He told us earlier if he had a set of tires, he thought he could win, but he's running on some old rubber, and he just didn't, he don't think he has enough to outlast these big boys. Bob Allensworth starting to make up some ground. Greg Gallagher slipped into third, Hoopengarner into fourth. Joe Nine still way back, can't get out of the pack.
Now, our fastest qualifier, he's running 12th right now. These slower cars are holding him up. He's still got a long way to go. I think he'll still finish in the top 5 if the car's running.
Rich Pika with a good lead here. He's just hoping there's no caution flags. He wants to stay out in front. Don't want these guys to get a chance to catch up. Real battle in the pack here. Tom Smith holds back Jeff Pittaker and Kenny Sellers. Nobody able to move out of the back. They're jammed up coming down the backstretch. Allensworth making up some ground here on Pika.
We got one car dropping out of the feature here, Chris. He can still come back out in this 50-lap championship. That number 27.
Oh, Pika spinning out on his own in the corner. What he was afraid of, his tires must have given out. Brings out the caution flag. A bad break for Rich Pika.
Real tough luck for Rich Pika.
This will bring Bobby Allensworth on the pole. He'll bunch up the field, though. It gives everyone else a chance. This will give Joe Nine and Rich Rohr a little bit of a break, as they'll be able to move up in their starting positions here. Cars will reline up now. Bob Allensworth will be our leader. Pika out underneath his car, checking to see what went wrong with it.
It looks like right here, Chris, from our vantage point here, there might be oil on the track. We noticed blue smoke coming out of Rich's car, coming out of the second turn about the 5th lap. His engine might have blowed here in the 4th turn.
Well, you might be right, Mike. I thought first maybe he just lost his tires, but spinning like he did, it could be that he might have blown an engine or a rear end or something and slid in his own oil.
Yeah, that's the way it looks from our vantage point here.
Smoke Erickson down there in the 4th corner checking his car out. He tried to avoid the accident there, and I think he made a little contact with someone trying to keep from hitting Pika. Pika's getting back in the car. Hopefully he'll be able to get back in the race. As we're waiting on him to line up the race, we'll take a little break right here. We'll be right back with more racing from Midvale Speedway right after this.
Midwest Brokering on State Route 30 in Minerva is Ohio's leader in manufactured housing. Midwest, one of the largest mobile home dealers in the tri-state area, with modern service and warranty facilities staffed by 23 service technicians with a combined experience of over 150 years. Stop in today and see the large selection of 14-foot wide homes available for less than $9,900, which includes delivery, setup, and skirting with the cost of the home. 24-hour approval of financing, VA, FHA, conventional financing.
We're back here at Midvale Speedway. We've had 10 laps complete in our Clay Week 50-lap championship. Rich Pika, our leader for the first 10 laps, spun out in between the 3rd and 4th corner. We don't really know what the problem was with Rich's car, but he's back in it. Looks like he's going to be back in the race. It's a bad break for him. He'll have to go to the rear. Bobby Allensworth is now our leader. And alongside him is Greg Gallagher, who moved up into 2nd with Ron Hoopengarner in the 3rd hole. And Mike Hoopy had the lead in the 50-lap feature we had before, and he could be a strong contender here if he gets a little room here to move inside.
Yeah, Ron, he's a real strong runner here at Midvale Speedway. I think what happened to him in our Memorial Day 50 is he just ran out of motor. He said the cars just seemed like they could go around him a lot easier, but we can't count him out. He's running 3rd spot right now. He could pull out ahead of everybody here quick. One thing I might add here, Chris, for people that's used to big-time racing, seen the NASCAR big races, the Daytona 500, I think they'll agree with me that these races here at Midvale Speedway are just as every bit as exciting as the big-time racing.
Well, I think I'd have to agree with that, Mike. Tonight in our late model heat race, our fast heat, which was the 9 fastest qualifiers, we had a bumper-to-bumper finish with Rich Rohr and Lonnie Vaughn. Rohr just barely edging him out at the checkered flag. These cars are really close, competitive cars. Our top 5 qualifiers are all within 20 hundredths of each other, and one guy gets out in front, it makes it a little tough to get around him. Bob Allensworth really has had a lot of car trouble this year. Hasn't been able to get the car handling properly, but if he gets her dialed in, he could be a tough man to beat. He won 3 of our big races last year, and he could just hold on if he can hold Huppengarner and 9 and Rohr back. I'd say 9 and Rohr are the 2 strongest cars out there at this time.
I think another contender we have here, Kristen, running on the outside pole here is number 6, Greg Gallagher, with a real fine machine. Hasn't run too well past 2 races with mechanical problems, but he might give us a race here yet.
I might have to mention, too, that he has his car painted your favorite Ohio State Buckeye colors, which people at home won't be able to see that quite so well, but it's a beautiful gray car with some red stripes on it and a red hood. These cars really in fine shape. These late models, some of them have as much in them as up to $5,000–6,000. So these guys are here to race. They're not here just to play. They've got a lot of money wrapped up in these cars.
Oh yes, Chris. I think this would be a good time to add that these fellas worked real hard all week to get their machines ready for racing on Saturday night. We had a perfect example of that 2 weeks ago when number 4, Bernie Sellers, he knocked the whole right side off of his car, and he was right back here the next week. So I think these guys deserve a lot of credit for the work they do to try to put on a good show here at Midvale Speedway.
Well, we're having a little problem here. Our pit steward, Dean Miles, calling over to the judges stand to find out where 45 and 16 fit into the line procedure. Our green flag, as everyone knows, means to start the race. You might want to tell them about some of the other flags.
Yeah, we have the striped flag, which is blue with an orange stripe on it, which is given to the cars that are behind the leader, which means they are going to be passed by the leading car. Then we have the yellow caution flag, which is thrown out for accidents on the track or whatever. Then we have the black flag, which is not thrown too often, but when it is, it's a bad sign for the guy they give it to. The black flag means you're disqualified for a certain reason. And then we have the checker flag, the dream of all race drivers, the winning checkered flag.
It seems to me, Mike, like about 3 years ago, you built yourself one of these figure-8 cars and come up here and won your first race, and then you give up on it. What happened there?
Well, after that first night, it looked too easy to me, so I just figured, well, I'll let the other guys have it.
Well,
I won my first checkered flag first night out, and I just thought I'd hang it up after that.
Somebody told me that you kind of got a little scared there when you went across the X in the figure-8 main event and almost got plowed there, and you decided to give it up on account of that reason.
Yeah, that's right. After that first spin out, that was enough for me. You're just spinning around there, and you know which end's going to come up first.
You're right. That gets a little scary out there at times. Okay, our flagman's giving them the sign that we're going to start the race. We've got 10 laps in. Bobby Allensworth inherited the lead here when Rich Pica spun out in the number 4 turn. Flagman Eddie Warmack giving him one more lap. Evidently doesn't like the way the lineup looks. One more time.
Well, the way it looks here, Chris, is about the last 6 cars are lagging behind, and Eddie likes to have them all in the punch there before he gives them the green.
I mentioned Joe 9 has only moved up, well, he's moved up from 16th to 11th. If the cars continue to run the way they are, it's going to be awful hard for Joe to get through that pack. All cars seem to be running pretty equal here tonight.
Yeah, they're all running here real fine. I think there's a few cars in front of Joe that's kind of holding him up. I think if we get a spread here in these first 8 or 10 cars, you'll see Joe make his move.
Okay, here we go. The green flag is out. Greg Gallagher trying to get on the outside, take the lead from Allensworth. went a little high. Bobby will slip back inside. Hoopengarner trying to make a move. Lap number 11. Greg Gallagher and Bob Allensworth. Ron Hoopengarner third. Kenny Sellers fourth. Dave Arons moved up to fifth spot with Tom Smith in sixth.
Yeah, we're getting a little spread here in the formation, Chris. I think number 55, Joe 9 of Leesville is going to be making his move here shortly. Making a new car spread here, and I think he'll be ready here pretty soon. And then we have Rich Moore right on his tail, so it's going to be a good race here from here on out.
Allensworth and Gallagher running side by side. Laps complete. Allensworth and Gallagher.
Gallagher got a little high in number 2 turn there, and he lost his lead here.
Bob Allensworth with the lead. 14 laps complete. Ron Hoopengarner trying to make a move on Greg Gallagher. Joe 9's making a move on the outside.
Yeah, number 55, Joe 9, he's moved into 7th spot here, moving on the outside.
Rich Rohr dropped back a couple spots. Joe 9 making his move on Jeff Bittaker. Has slipped into 6th position now. Joe 9 moves up. Our fastest qualifier. The winner of our last 50-lap feature. Bob Allensworth at 16 laps, still our leader. Greg Gallagher hanging in close.
Number 55, Joe 9 here, Chris, in a real fine machine. He's moved into 5th spot and he's still moving up.
Well, he went around Dave Barrett in 75 like he's sitting still. Bob Allensworth still our leader, but Joe 9 making the move way back here. Joe 9 right now, side by side, in 4th place with Kenny Sellers. Joe trying to make a move on the outside. Goes in front of Kenny. So Joe 9 is taking over the 4th spot. Making a move now for 3rd on Hoopengarner. Joe is flying, Mike.
Yeah, he's doing a real fine job here, Chris. He's coming into 4th position here, coming out of number 2 turn. He's coming up beside Ron Hoopengarner here, doing a real fine job.
Joe slips inside of Hoopy, coming out of number 4. Joe 9 will be in 3rd now. Joe seems to be able to put that car on the track anywhere he wants to, Mike.
Yeah, that's the way it looks, Chris. I would say that Joe has one making the finest machine on the track tonight, the way he's running right now.
Rich Rohr now moved into 7th position, making a move on the inside of Dave Barrett. Rich could give him trouble. All he needs here now is a caution flag. Let him move up a little bit. Joe 9 has slipped into 2nd place. Joe is really flying out there.
Joe 9 moving up on Bob Allensworth on the outside, coming into number 2 turn. Coming down the backstretch here, Joe's just flying. I don't think there's a car out here that keep up with him, Chris.
Well, he went around Bob Allensworth like he was sitting still. Joe 9 really got the machine moving, but Allensworth evidently with a problem. He's pulling out of the race. So Bob Allensworth experienced some mechanical difficulties here, pulling out. Greg Gallagher now in 2nd. Ron Hoopengarner 3rd. Kenny Sellers with 4th, with Rich Moore moving up now into 5th spot.
I would say it's going to take a bad break on Joe's part and some good fortune on the other driver's part.
Halfway sign by our flagman, Eddie Warmack, 25 laps complete. Joe 9, our leader. Greg Gallagher 2nd, Ron Hoopengarner 3rd. Rohr's trying to make a move now, Mike. He's moved into 4th spot. You might want to watch him come up through the pack.
Yeah, Rich is running real good right now. He's coming into number 1 turn here. He's in, let's see, number 4. He's in the 4th spot, moving up. Behind Ron Hoopengarner.
Joe 9 with a big lead here over Greg Gallagher, Ron Hoopengarner, Rich Rohr now making a move on Hoopengarner for 3rd spot. Rohr on the inside, going to take over 3rd. And Rohr, he's really flying.
Chris, I think if we had a caution flag here, it'd be a different race. We'd have Rich Rohr coming up into the pack here with Joe 9. We might have a completely different story here.
Rohr making a move on the outside of Gallagher for second place. Gallagher trying to hold him off. 28 laps, Joe 9 still our leader. Rich Rohr moved into second place. Now all he needs is a caution flag and we'll have a race on our hands. Joe 9 with a half a lap lead. Rich Rohr now going to try to close the gap. Greg Gallagher third, Ron Hoopergarner fourth. Dick Yohe trying to move up now in the 45 car.
I don't know what else we could say about this car, Joe 9. He just come up through the pack and took the lead. He's got a good half a lap lead on the second place car.
30 laps complete, Joe 9 our leader. Number 7, Rich Rohr in second, trying to catch up. Some of the slower cars getting in the way. I see our flagman, Eddie Warmack, with the passing flag out. Hoopengarner now trying to take over third. Couldn't quite get inside Gallagher. 32 laps, Joe 9 our leader, Rich Rohr in second. Joe 9 looks like he's on a Sunday drive out there, Mike.
Yeah, Chris, with about 16 laps to go here. Joe looks like he's out on Interstate 77 on a joyride here. Doing a real fine job. One thing we might add here, Chris, Joe 9's car's running so fine, but all these other cars have the same qualifications that Joe's does. It's just that his car's running so good.
Well, I think the main thing is that it's not so much more that he's got more motor, but Joe seems to be able to run in the low groove, second groove, anywhere he wants to go. The car just seems to stick, and that's the main thing in racing, being able to handle in all parts of the track. .37 laps complete. Joe 9 still our leader. Rich Rohr trying to close the gap in second. Greg Gallagher running third with number 68, Ron Hoopengarner in fourth. Right now, Joe 9 coming up on some of the slower cars, putting them a lap down. He might run into traffic. This might allow Rohr time to catch up on him.
Well, yeah, Chris, the way it looks like right now, Joe 9's getting caught in traffic here, and I think Rich Rohr in the number 7 car is making up a little bit on this lead.
Well, it looks like Tom Smith is holding Rohr up a little bit. Rich can get by him. I'm sure he can make a move. Joe 9 putting Doc Dixon, who I might mention, our 4th fastest qualifier of the night, down a lap. So Joe has really got the car handling superb. Doesn't seem to be able to make up the ground, but he's got a big lead over the third place car, Greg Gallagher, and fourth, Ron Hoopengarner. So right now, looks like Joe 9 and Rich Rohr got the 1-2 spots locked up again for the third consecutive time this year. They finished 1-2 in all the races we've had. Joe 9 putting 65 and 75 a lap down now as he sets his sights. Joe is really flying out there. Rich Rohr in second place, just hoping that something will bring out a caution flag, enabling him to catch up to Joe 9 here and have a race to the finish line. But right now, with the green flag out, it's all Joe 9.
I don't know what else we can say about this number 55 car, Chris. This machine's really flying.
45 laps, Joe 9, still our leader. Dick Yohe trying to move up on Ron Hoopengarner. Battle right now for the fourth spot. Hoopy trying to hold him off, but Yohe dips inside, takes fourth spot. Hoopengarner now fifth, with Joe 9 moved up on him now to put him a lap down.
Well, that just goes to show you how well Joe 9's running, Chris. He's lapping the number 5 car here. That just shows you how fast he's running.
Only 4 cars on the same lap. Well, 5 right now, unless Joe can get around Hoopy. We got Joe 9, Rich Rohr, Greg Gallagher, Dick Yohe, Ron Hoopengarner, and Joe 9. Coming up there now, trying to put a lap on Hoopengarner. Takes him on the inside. Now, 1 lap to go. Joe 9 looks like an easy winner in our Clay Week 50-lap championship.
Well, Chris,
White
I think the fans will agree that this is one of the finest races we've had this year. Real exciting race.
And our checkered flag goes out. 55, Joe 9 of Leesville, Ohio. Second place will go to number 7, Rich Rohr from Canton. Third, Dick Yohe has moved up from Canton, Ohio. Fourth will be number 6, Greg Gallagher. And fifth, 68, Ronnie Hoopengarner from Denison. Well, Mike, it took him a little while to move up, but once he took the lead on about the 20th lap, there just wasn't anybody to contend with Joe 9 tonight, Mike.
I think Joe's just waiting for the pack to move out a little bit where he could get some running room, and about the 20th lap he made his move, and it was Joe 9 all the way from there.
Well, the battle then went on for second place. Rich Rohr had a hard time doing it, but once he finally got around him, he also ran away from the field. And the battle ended up for third, fourth, and fifth. And Hoopengarner and Gallagher and Yohe really had a fine race in the back of the pack there for about 30 laps, with Yohe coming in third and Gallagher fourth, Hoopengarner fifth. And we'll be back with more racing action from Midvale Speedway right after this. Speedway, and presenting our trophy to the feature winner tonight, Miss Clay Week. And also our representative from Brightwood Motors, John Castor. And Joe 9 received the trophy for the 50-lap Clay Week Championship. We getting ready to line up the figure 8 feature of the event and spectator stock features. So we'll take a station break. We'll be right back. 15-lap spectator stock A feature. On the pole in car 123, Rick Wigfield from New Philly. Outside of him, car number 06, Harold Haga from Uricksville. 52, Kels Thomas from Denison. 21, Jim Clayman from Bolivar. 15, Austin Sell from Bowerston. Outside of him, 166, Don Nicholson from Magnolia. 169, Brad Kreischer from Dover. 55, Jerry Herman from Tusky. And Eddie Warmack, our flag, gives him the green flag, and our spectator fastest qualifiers of the evening in our A feature. Rick Wigfield taking the early lead. Harold Haga trying to hang in there for second. Cars are all bunched up. And Harold Haga and Kels Thomas tangling on the front stretch going into the infield. Both cars not hurt, so they'll go back into the racing action. Rick Wigfield still in the lead. Brad Kreischer of Dover now moving into second. Austin Sell in third. And it looks like Mike 115, Gary Marinelli, having mechanical problems, pulled out on the first lap.
Yeah, Gary Marinelli is a real fine runner in our spectator division. I couldn't see exactly what happened to him there, but I see he's pulling off the track. Bad break for Gary.
Brad Kreischer trying to take the lead. moving in on the inside of Rick Wickfield. Wickfield going in a little strong into the corner. He almost hits the fence. It brings her under control to hang in for second place. Brad's been one of our top runners in our spectator division the last 3 years. The 169 car. Number 89, our fastest qualifier of the evening, Randy Dingler, moving into 4th spot. And Randy really flies in this division, Mike. I think he gets a lot of help from the crew out of Delroy on this car.
Yeah, he's a real fine runner in our spectator division. I think he's wasting a lot of his talents in this division, the way his cars run. He might be able to move up to late model or like 169 here. This is his last year in the spectator division. He'll have to move up or get out of racing for next year.
Well, 89, Randy Dingler has moved into second place now. And
one thing we might add here, Chris, in our spectator division, these fellas race for trophies, and they put on a fine show for the fans.
oh, we had a spin out in the number 2 turn. We almost had a head-on collision, but a fine piece of driving there by Jerry Herman to avoid it. Green light still on. Well, now Eddie sees the car didn't move in time, so we got the yellow light. All the cars will bunch up here. That'll put Dingler right on the bumper of Brad Kreischer. And I see 149, Bill Desicker from New Philly has moved into 3rd place. He's also one of our top runners here in our spectator division. Yellow flag thrown when Rick Wickfield spun out in the number 2 turn. So we'll bunch them back up and run them again. Mike, you might want to explain a little bit about these spectator stocks to the fans on really what they can do to the car.
No, in our spectator division, these cars are strictly stock, the way they come from the factory as far as engine, and they make a few modifications in the driver compartment as far as the roll cage, but they're not allowed to make any modifications on the engines. They run strictly stock engines and no racing tires on these cars.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, what kind of tires are that? Do they have to run a street type tire?
Yeah, these cars all run street type tire with tread. No racing tires are allowed on these cars, which makes it a fine division.
So basically it's your stock automobile off the street, just souped up a little bit with a roll cage in it.
Right. Any of the fans that would like to participate in this spectator stock, all they got to do is knock the glass out of the car, put a few roll bars in it, and they're ready to race.
There we go. The green light's out again, and Brad Kreischer is going to try to hold off Randy Dingler and Bill Desicker. Dingler moving to the outside. He seems to have a lot of power in that car. Kreischer trying to hang in there. Went into the turn a little bit too hard. Lost a little bit of control there. Dingler now our leader. He'll be a hard man to catch, Mike.
Yeah, that car runs real well. Barring any difficulties, he'll probably come away with this feature win.
Looked like Bill Desicker had a little problem there in the second corner. Spun out, almost hit the fence. He might have blown a tire. Yeah, he blew the right rear tire, so Bill's out of action for the evening. Randy Dingler, the big lead here. Well, as you know, Mike, Randy runs around with Smoke Erickson and Doc Dixon and all these guys that have been in racing a long time, and they've helped him work on this car. And Randy's just got it handling super.
Yeah, I think the boys from Delroy do a real fine job on their machines, and they're not selfish with each other. They try to help each other out, and no matter what division they're running.
Well, they seem to pretty much stick together. I don't think they give too many tips out to any outsiders.
No, they like to keep it to the country boys.
That's right. Well, Randy Dingler here running away with our spectator A feature. Brad Kreischer still second. Battle back here for third with Chuck Rader from Dover hanging on to third right now, with Bruce Johnson of Canton in fourth. Number 27 in fifth place, Jim Martin from New Philly. White flag is out. One more lap to go. Randy Dingler is going to come in now for our checkered flag. Rick Wickfield spinning out again in front of the field. but he's got it back under control. Brad Kreischer, second. Looks like 05, Chuck Rader is going to end up third. 67, Bruce Johnson fourth, and Jim Martin, number 27, in fifth. That's our spectator A feature of the evening. So while we're waiting on our figure eights to line up with our last race of the evening, we'll take a little break right here.
Make your car shine like a dime every time at Union 76 pit stops in Dover, New Philadelphia, or Uricksville. Why drag out the hose, bucket, soap, or scrub brush when you can let the car care professionals at Union 76 pit stops make it shine like new? The big orange Union 76 ball is your sign for assurance of the best wash job anywhere in the county. Union 76 pit stop car washes, where their motto is, if your car has dust or rust, a wash job is a must. Speedy Auto Parts, located across from Beitner Tire on North Worcester Avenue in Dover, is your complete parts supply store. Speedy features a complete line of motorcraft parts and accessories, Walker exhaust systems, and much, much more at everyday low prices. Open 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturdays. For that hard-to-find part to keep your car running in top shape, see Jeff at Speedy Auto Parts in Dover. Parking and entrance at the rear of the building.
Well, we're back here at Midvale Speedway. We're getting our track prepared here for our figure eight main event of the evening. And Mike, you might want to tell the people here what we're doing out here, getting ready for this figure eight.
Well, in our figure eight division, we run strictly on the inside of the track. The crews now are moving out these big Uke tires that are a big help to the figure eight drivers to keep them off the infield. And while we have a chance here, I'd like to mention that our races will be replayed tomorrow night on cable TV 2 at 8 o'clock, and then on Monday night at 8 o'clock, and then finally Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And you can see all the racing action that we have had here at Midvale Speedway in the coming week.
You might want to mention that these figure eight cars, they run their preliminary races on our 3rd mile oval here, because if we ran them all on the figure eight, by the time we came to feature time, we wouldn't have anybody left, because we have quite a few accidents on a normal evening here in our figure eight. So this has to be our last race of the evening, because it takes quite a bit of time to clean up the track. Looks like we may have a problem out here with some gasoline or something on the track. I see they've got the hose out. Gasoline is a real problem on asphalt, so you have to clean it up right away. We might want to run down our preliminary winners of the evening of tonight's races. Mike, you want to give us the winners?
Okay, Chris, in our late model division, in the helmet dash, which is the first race of the evening, we had Rich Rohr of Canton, Ohio, the winner. In our first heat of the late models, Kerry Smith. Second heat of late models tonight, Jim Coffey of Dilroy. Third heat in our late model division went to Rich Rohr again of Canton, Ohio. And in our consolation event for the late model division, we had Boyd Gum. His first night out here at Midvale Speedway. He done a real fine job. And then our top 5 finishers in the late model feature, which was our Clay Week 50-lap feature. Coming in first was Joe Nine of Leesville. Second, Rich Rohr of Canton. Dick Yohe of Canton. Number 4 in the 4th position was Greg Gallagher. And in the 5th position, Ron Hootengarner of Denison. In our figure 8 division, first heat went to Jerry Adkins. Second heat went to Lou Vickers, number 17. And our pursuit race went to Rich McKim, number 21. Real fine runner in our figure 8 division here in Midvale.
Okay, we're back here. The infield crew watering down a little bit of the infield there. It's quite dry out there right now, and we water it down a little bit in case the cars spin into the infield. It kind of keeps the dust down and helps flagmen see what's going on out there on the figure 8 track. We might want to mention that racing action continues here every Saturday night. Next Saturday night, June the 21st, we have Kiddies Night. when all young. Mike Percone. Our director tonight for TV2 is Mike Civillo, and our fine cameraman is Brian Young. I think TV2 is doing a real fine job here of bringing these races to us. On the pole here in our figure 8 main event, number 17, Lou Vickers from Cambridge. Outside of him, can't quite see it from here yet until they come around the corner. Number 3. That's Ray McKim from North Salem. 47, Joe Vickers from Cambridge. 5, Larry McMillan, New Philly. R1, Roger Cole, Uricksville. 2, Gary Rose, Kim Bolton. 83, Bill Coventry from Scio. 19, J.R. Ridgway from Denison. 21, Richard McKim from North Salem. 101, Jerry Adkins from Bolivar. They'll go around 15 times, and this will really get hairy when they get strung out a little bit. Eddie Warmack ready to give him the green flag. And here we go with Lou Vickers, Cambridge, jumping out in the lead. Mike, Lou's won quite a few figure 8s here at Midvale since we started this.
Yeah, right, Chris. He's in a new car here tonight. He usually runs Ford product, but I see he's driving a GM car here tonight. And looks like he's doing a real fine job when coming into the first turn.
Well, Lou's always been one of the top competitors in our figure 8 class. He's going to show him which way to go around tonight.
Yeah, we have J.R. Ridgway coming up into 4th position here, a real fine runner here at Midvale Speedway in our figure 8 division, along with number 21, Rich McKim. So I think we'll have a good race here.
Looks like Roger Cole kind of laying back there. They're having mechanical problems, can't get his car out of the way. It's a bad place to set. Car's coming up behind him. Oh, what a... Lou Vickers is able to avoid that accident there. Ben Gibson came across. 2 cars tying up in the X, Larry McMillan and Ray McKim, but McKim keeps moving. McMillan seems to be out of commission. Lou Vickers coming across again, our leader. Gary Rose trying to close the gap along with J.R. Ridgway and number 19. Richard McKim, another one of our top competitors in the figure 8, now moved into 4th spot. Boy, I'd hate to be in Larry McMillan's shoes right now, wouldn't you, Mike?
Yeah, right, Chris. One thing we might mention here, the flagman will not throw a yellow flag in this figure 8 feature unless they have the X here in the 8th block where a car can't get around it. As we can see, there's number R1 there and number 5 sitting right in the lane of traffic.
Right. Well, in figure 8 racing, they don't stop the race unless they feel that somebody is in real bad trouble out there. If someone's hurt real bad, the flagman will throw the yellow flag. Other than that, the cars will just sit.
Well, we got number 19, J.R. Ridgway, coming in, picking into the 2nd spot there. A real fine runner here at Midvale. With Rich McKim coming in the 3rd position.
Yeah, J.R. won the last figure 8 we had here back on Memorial Day. Well, Lou Vickers right now with a comfortable lead over J.R. Ridgway and Richard McKim. Jody Vickers trying to make up some ground now in 4th spot. You got cars sitting all over the track. We've pretty much got them thinned out now. A lot of smoke coming off the number 11 of Bob Swan. J.R. Ridgway trying to make up ground on our leader, Lou Vickers. Careful, Lou, with that X.
That was close.
Lou Vickers still our leader.
We started 15 cars in our figure 8 feature tonight. We got the top 10 qualifiers and then the first 5 finishers out of the constant event to make up the 15-car field.
Show you how tough a race it is. Mike, there's only 7 cars left running right now. See most of the drivers using a little caution tonight at that X. Larry McMillan able to get his car started now, get back into things here. Bob Swan, his car's smoking. I saw sparks coming out from underneath. Looks like he might have blown an engine. '17, Lou Vickers, still our leader. J.R. Ridgway in second. You might want to mention about the rules of these cars while we're here, running here.
Okay, in our figure 8 division, all these cars are 6-cylinder engines, and they're well reinforced with a complete roll cage, and then they have a steel plate added on to the driver's door because of the danger of the crashing in the X.
Well, there's been a lot of that going on. White flag was out, coming in for the checker flag. For his first figure 8 win of the year, Lou Vickers, number 17 from Cambridge. J.R. Ridgway will be second. Richard McKim from North Salem third, and Jody Vickers, Lou's brother, fourth.
Another thing we might mention here, Chris, to prove the point of how entertaining these races are, I don't know how many adults we had in the grandstands tonight, but I would say not too many left. They enjoyed this figure 8 race a lot.
Well, the people really like to see the action in that figure 8, and that's the race they wait on. They'll wait. We've been here before till 1 o'clock in the morning, and they won't go home. They'll stay right here and wait on it. It's usually pretty exciting, so it's one of the better races here of the evening. Well, there's Lou Vickers coming in to get his picture taken here. Our figure 8 champion of the evening. Pretty much wraps up the racing. I'd like to thank TV2 for again coming here to the track to film these races. I'd also like to thank a couple of our patrons.